When I'm not in the middle of an impossible quest trying to find a gaming chair that does not have racing stripes, I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Great vid as always. Could you make a video on how to practice guitar when you're at work, or rather away from your guitar? What can I do when I have a 30-minute lunch break instead of watching student-minded YouTube videos? Alright, so my answer to this is practice your scales. There's definitely an easy way to do this. That's why the sooner you realize that guitar is an instrument of shapes and positions, the better. Just for example, let's do the G major scale. If every finger gets its own fret, pointer finger 2, middle finger 3, ring finger 4, pinky 5, middle, pinky, index, pinky, index, ring, pinky, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky. Or you could do like a 3 notes per string type thing, like that. Basically, it's a position. And the thing about seeing it as a position, it enables you to actually practice it without guitar. So if you just pretend that like your thumb is the fretboard of the guitar, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky, index, ring, pinky, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky. However it is. Look, I'm so good at it, I can play it faster than I can speak it, right? So it's just one way to kind of like really sear that shape into your mind's eye. The same with like kind of fretboard spanning arpeggios. You can kind of think of those differently, right? And I think thinking of your thumb as the fretboard and then having the proper finger in a position, shape, scale, arpeggio is a great thing that you can always practice, because even though it's not the exact same thing as having the resistance of a guitar neck to kind of like fly back and forth between, it does help. It really does help. And that kind of muscle memory of just playing around is something that you should really practice if you have the time to do it. Again, you already may know that I may say this, but I'm a huge proponent of learning music theory, and really thinking about music and studying music is something that you'll really find super helpful whether you have an instrument in your hands or not. Okay, so what I mean by that is like, all right, well, what are the notes that go into a G major 7 chord, right? It'd be like G, B, D, F sharp. Now, it's one thing to memorize those. It's another thing to see them in a scale and then kind of like see the notes that populate that scale. So again, I'm not a huge fan of writing things because I like to live in the modern day. But if you were to write out the G major notes, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and then kind of like just see them in a linear way, almost like a piano, and then try to build chords from them in like 1, 3, 5, 7, I think that stuff really helps. And it's stuff that you don't really need an instrument to do. Or you could just sign up for my Patreon and just listen to me talk, and by sheer osmosis, you'll become a much better guitar player or your money back. That Acoustasonic is growing on me. I like it. So does it have acoustic strings or electric strings? My guess is acoustic. Thank you. So here's a Fender Acoustasonic. Kind of a polarizing guitar in a lot of ways. I admit when I first saw it, I was like, Then I played it and I was like, okay, whatever. Then they sent me one and I was like, okay, cool. You know, it's like the novelty of having a new guitar is always going to sway your bias one way or another, especially when Fender sends you one for free. And then I played that show with Andrea, where we played a show to our Muppets. Great video that I'll link below if you want to check that out. And listening to it through my Bose L1 SPA and then editing the video on it, I was like, this guitar is awesome. This will most likely be my new live performing guitar whenever I decide to have shows again. Because it really sounds great. I think there is some kind of cognitive dissonance looking at it or playing it and hearing an acoustic guitar, but the way that they modeled the acoustic guitar stuff is just really, really impressive, and I'm a fan. Now, my one thing that I will say is I don't like the strings that come with it, right? I think these are just like the Fender uncoated acoustic ones. I'm not a huge fan of them. It came set up really well, like the action is perfect, but I always like the coated stuff for acoustic guitar strings. To answer your question, it'll actually work with acoustic or electric guitar strings, but it does sound way better on acoustic. I haven't personally done this, but I did watch a YouTube video. I should probably link it, but I forgot what it was because I watched it a while ago, where they tried both, and it both works, but it just kind of sounds like trash with electric strings. So definitely acoustic guitar strings. I'll probably put some elixirs on here and then maybe update you on a future QA. But honestly, this guitar is awesome. It's pricey, for $2,000. If that's worth it, that's a question that I cannot answer for you. But I definitely think this will be my new performing guitar for just a lot of different shows. just because also standing up and playing it, it's so light and the form factor is so, it's a thin body electric guitar shape. It's awesome. So again, my mind has, I don't want to say my mind has changed. I was never like a hater for the Acoustasonic, but I've just been impressed more and more, and I'm excited to actually get some of my preferred guitar strings on there, and it'll hopefully be even that much better. Never heard of that, because I don't listen to people play garbage. I'll be happy to inform you that that wasn't my own original music that person qualified as garbage. It was actually a cover in somebody else's music. So I'm just essentially the facilitator of said garbage, and I take no offense. He looks like PewDiePie, but with gray hair and with an alcoholic addiction. I get the PewDiePie comment a lot, literally every day, and I always appreciate the ones that either tell me I look like an older crackhead PewDiePie or a younger, less talented PewDiePie, because I get them all in between. So we really haven't come to a definitive answer from the internet whether I'm older or younger than PewDiePie, but I'm entertained by the comments nonetheless. So for listening homework this week, I'm going to throw you to the new Gorillaz album. Definitely like a really cool album. I did not have high expectations for this when it came out. I've just kind of thought of the Gorillaz as more as like background music for the last 12 years of new releases. But they did this cool collaboration with like a lot of famous artists that you might like. And some of the songs are really good. The production sounds really good. A lot of great synth sounds. And again, I was a fan from back in the day, and I'm still a fan now, so check it out. And then if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.